Hey everybody, welcome to the latest edition of the Old Cat Lady vlog. And to actually remember what my vlog is called. How about that? Got a couple of stories for you today. We still have plans to go to the cemeteries. We've actually decided what cemeteries we're going to. And one of them we're really not supposed to. Actually, probably neither one of them we're really supposed to go to. But we got it all planned out for our first official ghost paranormal investigation. To go out and actually do something interesting and fun for a change. And I can't get something to get off on my screen here. I think Android has taken over my computer. Anyway, so that's the plan for either tonight or tomorrow night. We're still trying to decide when we can go. And I have a story. I don't know if I don't think you subscribed yet, or if this person plans on subscribing. But I was on the phone the other day. You know how you call customer service when you're trying to get a bill paid or you need some help with something. And I was on the phone with this customer service rep from this company. I won't say who it is because I don't want to get the guy in trouble. But I had a piece of equipment that I was trying to get some information on. I said, yeah, I said I've been using it to just download ghost apps. And he's like, really? And so he starts telling me his story about his house and the ghost that he would see wearing Victorian clothing out of the corner of his eye. And and it's amazing when you mention to anybody that you're interested in the paranormal, that you're interested in ghost hunting, they either go, oh, no, or they are already interested or have had some kind of experience that they want to share. And I just thought that was really cool. And I really could not get a lot of detail about this, the ghost that he had in his home, because obviously we were on the phone for customer services purposes. And so I wasn't able to get a lot of detail. But it's fascinating that you can just be talking to somebody and discover that they have a similar interest like that, And I think that today the things are changing, something's happening, and I think that there are a whole lot more people interested in the paranormal than there ever was before. And I'm really looking forward to going out and getting some EVP and EVPs and coming back and sharing them with you guys and with all of the other paranormal people who are on the web that I have subscribed to. And I'm hoping you guys will come back and subscribe to me as well, to my channel. I'm having fun with this. I've got 3 kittens here now. I am the Old Cat Lady vlogger. So I have 3 little bitty teeny tiny kittens. And I did some Facebook living. I'm trying to find homes for these little devils. They're not even weaned yet. We're having to feed them fake cat mom milk, and stuff. And so hopefully we'll get them healthy and we'll be able to find homes for them in our vicinity here. And so, but I thought I might do something, put something up about the cats later, let everybody see them. Yeah, I'm a cat freak. I like cats. I had 6, and then Indy died, and now I have 5, and that's still too many cats. They're enough to drive you nuts, and they don't like these kittens. They are so jealous and so self-centered that they go crazy when people come in the house, they don't like it. They just want everything is theirs and nothing is anybody else's. So don't even interfere with them because it just makes them angry. And I wanted to tell you guys another ghost story, a ghost story of mine. I know I haven't really shared a whole lot of that about, how I got interested in the paranormal. And I said I was going to do that. And so here's my story of how I got interested in the paranormal. Years and years ago, when my grandmother died, her spirit appeared to me about the time that she died. I wasn't able to go and see her, did not get to see her when she passed away. And she came to me, and we had some other things going on. We lived in this house where there was actually a little wooden bridge you had to cross over a stream to get to the house. This was not like on the road. This was in our yard. The stream ran through our yard, our front yard, with a little wooden bridge. And there was something living under that bridge. Someone told me that it might have been a fae, but I never went under there. And it would sometimes, you would hear it would act like it wanted to play with us and things like that. And so that was, and I know it's interesting because my grandmother died at the same time when we lived in this house. And there were some other things that went on. I think I might have mentioned this in another video. I can't remember. But sometimes at night I was drawn outside at this house. And I was only 8 at the time. And I would crawl out of my window at night. And it only really happened when the moon was full. And it was like I was being called out. Called outside. And I would go outside in the darkness, and I was only 8, and just run around the yard. and just play. And sometimes I would sit on the stoop and just watch the moon. I mean, there's just things but it was like I was called to do this, not just I'm being a kid who's, wanting to just sneak out of the house. I was being called to go out. I would go out in my pajamas, bare feet, in the middle of the night. And it was, and I think maybe that spirit or that fae that lived under the bridge had something to do with that. But I never, and I would go down and watch the moon reflected on the water of the creek as it ran by. And sometimes I would see little shadows or something, and I would run back to the house, jump back in my window, things like that. And we used to, but when we lived there were a lot of little things that went on, but they weren't in the house. They were outside the house. It was the land. And you would not feel that. We would go in the house and you really didn't feel any kind of presence. But when you were outside, you felt it. And there's been one other place where I lived that had a similar thing. And I'll tell you about this. We lived way out in the country. And I mean, this place was extremely far out. And we were like the last house on the left, before nothing. And it was floodplain behind us. And I walked outside one night. I had always felt a little creepy outside there. And I walked outside, and there was no breeze. It was a hot summer night, not a sound. I mean, even the crickets were quiet. It was so damn hot, And all of a sudden, the trees started moving back and forth. And I don't mean a couple of trees in a breeze. I mean every single tree around us, and we were wooded, started swaying in the wind back, and excuse me, my shirt's coming up, swaying in the wind, back and forth simultaneously. I mean, this wasn't like there was a wind blowing. And I went inside the house. I ran in the house. I got my husband at the time, and I got my daughter out. So I said, you got to come out and see this. And we went outside and we're watching it, and the trees are just doing this. And they were singing. I've never heard a sound like this. It's not a whistle, and it's not a whisper. It's somewhere in between a whisper and a whistle. And these trees were just moving in unison and making this sound. You could hear the rustling and the whistling and the whistle whisper. And they were just, I've never experienced anything like that in my life. And we had several things happen out there. The scariest thing was there was a buzzing noise. And it was like a watch. You ever heard a watch alarm go off? And I kept hearing it over and over again in different places in the yard, and I couldn't figure out what it was, and it started freaking me out. And finally, I heard something out in the front yard, and I opened the door to go outside, and just as I opened the door, I heard that sound, and then all of a sudden, it went through the trees. I mean, it took off, and it went from like 0 to 200 feet in just a second. And I still don't know what that was. Somebody told me it might have been an animal who was tagged, that had some kind of tag on it. But if you were to tag an animal in the wild, why would you let it make a noise? Because if it made a noise, then it might have problems being with other animals. I mean, if it's making a buzzing or beeping sound. And so anyway, this thing took off through the trees, and it took off very, very, very fast. And we saw things out there that were really odd, strange lights, booms. I mean, sometimes you would hear explosions, and for no reason whatsoever. I mean, just no reason. There was no plants, nothing that would make that kind of a noise. And so this was very, very often that we heard the booms, and nobody could explain them. I actually called the sheriff's department and said, "What is that noise?" And they're like, "We don't know what you're talking about. We've not had any reports of anything like that." I'm like, "Okay." Well, I think we were on limestone, and limestone is known to be something that attracts spirits. Limestone, we were right on the aquifer, and so I think that whole area out there where we lived was sort of prone to attract paranormal and unusual things. And I still know I know the people that live in the house now, and I've never asked them. And I think sometimes I should ride out there and just kind of, see how they're faring out there and see what they think of the interesting things that go on outside the house, because it can be pretty interesting out there. And so anyway, those are my stories for today. Like I said, I'm looking forward to taking my camera out to the cemetery for my first official paranormal investigation. Oh, I called a friend of mine. I forgot, I almost forgot to tell you. And asked him if he would go with us, right? Well, now, He's probably going to watch this and he's going to say, I can't believe she mentioned me, but I'm not going to say his name, so don't worry, dear. I'm not going to mention your name. But I asked him to go and he sends me a text. He says, you're kidding. He said, are you kidding? I'm like, no. He's like, for real? Yeah. Really for real? I'm like, yeah. He's like, you're crazy. What's wrong with you? You're crazy. And I'm like, so I'm still trying to convince him to go. I told him, so at least he can knock it off his bucket list, right? I mean, you know, just then it's good to have a skeptic along, because if you got a skeptic along, then you have somebody who can say, wow, I did see this, you know, and I'm not even a believer in this stuff, and I see it. And so anyway, so if you can put in the comments to my friend and say, please go with her to the cemetery, right? Because if you put the comments up there, then maybe he'll read them and he'll go with me to the cemetery. And if you have not subscribed to my weird vlog, please do so. I mean, I would really like to have as many. So try to get 100 to start with. I want to get up to 4,000 or 5,000. I mean, millions. I wish I could get millions, you know, but I don't know about that. I don't think the old Cat Lady vlog is quite that interesting, but some of you might like what I say and what I do. And I can't wait to give you like really real ghost videos. That'd be fun. And I have a few more ghost stories to tell you later on. And so anyway, please subscribe to the vlog. Visit the website. It's, what is the website? Oh, it's my vlog. It's pastone.snakenationpress.blog. And that's my blog. And then you can find me on Twitter at the Old Cat Lady Vlog, and past one Old Cat Lady Vlog, hashtag Old Cat Lady Vlog, and you can find me on Facebook at the Old Cat Lady Vlog there. And so anyway, I'll put all that stuff somewhere on the links. I think I have them. It's already in the links below this. So please subscribe and let me know what you'd like to see. I mean, what you want to hear about, what you want to know about. Maybe I can find out for you. Thanks. Bye-bye.